So I'm going to use this my Walmart experience as maybe a possible video editing practice run. I don't know. But I am going to talk about my Walmart experience because maybe I'm a Karen. Every month we make one big shopping trip to go get all of our supplies for the month. And because we live on a very fixed income, my disability and my husband's social security, and that's it, we are rather careful with what we buy. We buy the same, pretty much exactly the same things every month. And mind you, the cost of those things has gone up. But anyway, this is about my experience trying to buy a phone card for my track phone. This last summer, my phone that I had on my daughter's phone plan uh, that I was paying her for, that phone had a rather unfortunate river rafting accident. Wasn't in as waterproof a bag as I thought it was. So that phone no longer existed, and we needed to replace my line. And we went in to talk to the company that she has her phone service through, and they could not or would not retrieve the data from the last phone, and just seemed kind of ridiculous to be spending $60 a month for another phone. So we went to Walmart and purchased a track phone. I I don't use a phone very often. I might make one or two calls a month. I don't like talking on the telephone. So what I use my phone for is the internet, Facebook, YouTube, making videos. And when I'm at home, my phone is connected to our internet that we already pay for. And when I'm out, I get this $15 talk and text data phone card every month to cover that few occasions when I'm out. And it doesn't take much to cover what I need for when I'm out because everything is handled at home. So I have been known to purchase the wrong type of card. Um, I've said in many past videos way long ago, I do have a traumatic brain injury that I received many years ago. That brain injury affected my memory. I lost pretty much all of my childhood memories at the time. I have since found them again. They were kind of like in the Swiss cheese holes of my brain. And I still regain memories, but I do have issues with short term memory, and so I need to write things down. And so I get into Walmart and I'm standing at the aisle where they've got the phone cards, and I'm looking and I can't see very well because my eyes are bad. And an associate comes up and says, "Can I help you?" And I show him my list with all of the groceries that we have on it, and where I've got written exactly what I need. And I said, "This is what I need. I need a phone card for my phone." And I show him my phone. So he pops it right off, saw it right away. No problem. And then as he's doing that, he's telling me, "Well, we offer a different, I can't remember what he said, service or something like that, that might work with your phone that is far better than what TrackPhone has. You'd get better internet, better calling and texting and stuff." And I said, "Well, my daughter handles, helps me with all that stuff. It's just kind of," and he said, "I don't even know if your phone would be compatible, but if it would, it wouldn't, it wouldn't be that much different, and it would be a better value, better service." And I said, "Well, how much more?" And he says, "Well, maybe $10. Now, he has just handed me a $15 talk and text card. So, okay, $10, $25. And I'm still like, "Well, this all confuses me. It's a lot, and I don't like contracts." And he says, "Well, nobody likes contracts." Okay, I'm assuming that means no contract. So he says, and I don't even know if your phone is compatible, but we can check. And so he's kind of ushering me to the cash register computer thing. And we're talking about it, and I'm telling him about what happened to the last phone I had and how I lost all of my pictures and my contacts from it, and we couldn't get those back. And he says, "Well, with this, if you've got this service, then we could, if you have a problem, you bring it in here, and we can get that all back." And he says, "And if you do auto pay, that would save you some money." And then he says something about the SIM card, and I'm like, well, wouldn't you have to change my phone number? Now, he's already said auto pay, so I've got that in my mind. And SIM card, maybe change your phone number. And he says, no, well, we could transfer all your data, after we change the SIM card. And he's fixing to take my phone apart to do that. And I'm like, well, then I said about the auto pay, and he said, well, it would be a difference between $50 a month and $40 a month. And okay, the little alarm bells are going off, and I'm thinking, okay, $15, maybe $10 extra. Now we're up to $50 or $40. And no, no, no. So I tell him, no, no, never mind. I'm not interested in this. Now, I've already told him more than once that my daughter handles all this. He's already almost talked me into switching my service from $15 a month to $40 or $50 a month on a contract that I would be stuck with. And so I'm starting to feel really horrible. I mean, this I'm being taken advantage of or something. And so I'm telling him, no, never mind, never mind. He hands me my phone back, and I'm starting to walk away. And there are other people waiting for him. And he's telling me, well, if something happens to your phone and you bring it in here, we don't have to fix it, even though you bought it here. Okay, fine, fine. I mean, that's kind of why I didn't buy a $1,000 phone. I bought a $50 phone. And I'm walking away, and he's telling me that they don't have to fix my phone and that the service is much better. And he's basically making me feel like I'm stupid because I can't afford $50 or $40 a month. I need my $15 a month track phone card. And dude, I was perfectly happy, and I still am perfectly happy with the service my track phone gives me, with what it does for me, the videos it takes, I'm happy with it. He's mad. I guess what? Did he lose a commission? At any rate, I feel this big as I'm walking away. And I leave, we finish our shopping, come home. I'm mad. And I'm mad because, number one, he almost had me talked into switching. And I'm sure that once that had been switched and it would have clicked in there that, hey, instead of $15 a month, you are now locked in for a whole year of $40 or $50 a month. That would have been me taking food out of our mouths because I made a stupid mistake letting some dude at Walmart scam me out of a decent deal so that he could get a commission. Is that what happened? So, yeah, I'm mad. And I came home and I thought about it for a couple days. And today, I used my cheapo track phone and I called that Walmart and I told, well, I asked to speak to the manager, went around that rigmarole, and I told the manager exactly, or to the best of my ability, what had happened and how it had made me feel. Um, it made me feel little. It made me feel stupid. And it made me angry. Made me feel like Walmart might be convenient to buy all the things that we need to buy every month, but it might be worth going to 4 or 5 different stores to get those things rather than put up with that kind of customer service. It made me wonder how many vulnerable elderly adults they have taken advantage of, and taken advantage of their finances so that they could make an extra buck. And how many of those vulnerable adults might be going hungry or without their prescriptions or whatever they need because of it. Because the greed in this country is ridiculously out of control. And that little tiny bit of joy that I get from my track phone and doing my little YouTube videos on it, that man made me feel like I was some kind of an idiot because I was looking to save a few dollars, and I was happy with the service that I already had. I don't know where this country has gone wrong, but it certainly has lost its soul. And if that makes me a Karen because I called and complained, let me just point out, number one, I did not give the name of the associate, but I do think that that whole department needs to have a little pep talk in how you treat your elders. And the fact that if somebody, an adult, an older adult, and I may be a pink-haired old lady, but trust me, I know I look old, tells you that their son or daughter handles their business for them, their phone service or whatever, then you ought to be thinking that maybe that's because they aren't able to. And I'm sure that my wonderful maggot trolls will find this as, oh boy, this is great fodder. Well, she's got a TBI. She can't remember things, so that must make her an idiot. You go ahead and keep thinking that, maggot trolls. The thing is that greed may run this country, but the humanity in the people like the manager I spoke to, who was very apologetic, that's what keeps me going. However, going to be working on finding other places to purchase our monthly supplies. And I know that the $300, $400 that we spend at Walmart a month isn't going to hurt Walmart's bottom line, but continuing to spend it there hurts my soul. Hang on to your sanity.